The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your number one source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke, Kevin Price, and Robbie Ross. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Robbie Ross, 912 Sports. This is the Ross Report. And here lately, well, at least this school year, the GHSA has been getting more into politics than almost ever before. It first started with the state legislature putting pressure on the GHSA to eliminate 7A, which they did starting in 2023, 2024, to bring down or expand the number of regions and limit travel for teams around the state by making each classification, I guess, bigger and more regions than what we have now to lower the amount of travel that these teams will have throughout 7 classes, or actually 8 classes, with there's Class A being split to 6A. So the GHSA felt the pressure from the legislature, which is probably needed. I'm not opposed to that. Going to 6 classes, I'm okay with that. So the GHSA faced political pushback, maybe you want to call it that. And now, this past week, the GHSA also stepped into the realm of politics, which can be a slippery slope, to say the least. Kind of like I'm standing right now on a slippery slope. Not really. I'm not giving my opinion either way. Just going to report what took place last week that the GHSA mandated. And just to be clear, when you talk politics and sports and politics at the same time, things can be misconstrued and there can be misconceptions, which I think there have been a few with this. But last week, the GHSA passed 62 to nothing. The executive committee, 62 members to none, passed not a ban, not a ban, and I think that's what people have been confused about. It's not a ban on transgender athletes. Not a ban at all. GHSA says transgender athletes can compete, but what they did pass was a policy saying that the transgender athlete must compete in the sport based on the sex that their birth certificate lists. So, an athlete that was born a male must compete against the males. An athlete that was born a female must compete against the females. So, it's not, as I said, not a ban on transgender athletes at all. It is a clarification that transgender athletes may participate in sports in the GHSA, but they have to participate in sports based on their birth certificate. So, I mean, I think that's where some of the unclarity has been, and there have been pros for it, there have been cons for it, there have been proponents of it, there have been opponents of it. Members of the critic side opposed to the ban on transgender athletes, and again, it's not a ban on transgender athletes. They say there are, well, first of all, there have been no instances of trans athletes in Georgia creating an unfair advantage. This is true, but we have seen it all across the nation on the high school level, and also most recently in the college level, where a transgender athlete won a conference title in the Ivy League in a swimming race. Although there have not been any instances in Georgia where someone has won a state championship as a transgender athlete, I think the state of Georgia and the GHSA is being proactive in that. Now, of course, that opens the doors to lawsuits and whatnot. Anytime politics and sports get involved, you're going to have lawsuits, and that's surely going to come. But I think the GHSA is just putting this out there, and it's not illegal. It is not against the law for them to put this policy in place. It takes the onus off the local school districts as well. So I think that is what the GHSA was trying to achieve as well, was take the local districts' policies and procedures out of play and take the pressure off the local districts. So again, just to reiterate, 912 Sports is not saying yes or no, yay or nay. Good move, bad move. We are just here to clarify that the GHSA did not, in fact, ban transgender athletes last week in their ruling. The GHSA put in a policy in place that transgender athletes are allowed to participate in any GHSA-sanctioned sport, but the transgender athlete must participate based on the sex that is listed on their birth certificate. So I'm sure a lot more will come out of this as the weeks and months to come. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we will not have to deal with that here in the state of Georgia, where someone tries to win a championship not based on their birth certificate. But the GHSA is doing their job to put in place a policy to clarify further where and against whom a transgender athlete can compete. For the Ross Report for 912 Sports, I'm Robbie Ross.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Big story out of the 912. The Brantley County Herons knocked off Greater Atlanta Christian in the AAA state semifinals to capture the school's first berth in state championship for boys tennis. This was the 7th semifinal Final Four match that Brantley has been in the past 14 years and their first trip to the state championships final round. The Heron won with victories from number 1 singles Josh Yeomans 6-0, 6-2, number 3 singles Ben Smith 6-0, 6-1, and number 2 doubles Tucker and Patrick O'Quinn 6-4, 6-0, and number 1 doubles Garrison Chesser and Bryson Allgood were winning 6-4, 5-5 when the play was stopped. The match can be summed up in the following photo of the Heron tennis team and several student fans as they hoisted number 1 singles Josh Yeomans over their heads to celebrate the match point that had just concluded moments before. Josh Yeomans was the Region 1 AAA Player of the Year and the 912 Sports Player of the Year for boys tennis small schools, had a 21-2 record his senior season. The leader of the Herons finishes his last home match and sends his team to their first tennis state title appearance in program history. 912 Sports had a chance to talk with the winning Herons coach, Patrick Steve.
Welcome, sports fan, and joining us now is the head coach of the Brantley boys tennis team, Coach Patrick Steve. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing great. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Hey, it's a really exciting time down there in Brantley County for the Herons boys tennis team and the girls too. Let's don't forget about the girls. Made it all the way to the Final Four. Did fall in the Final Four, but Coach, you guys were able to win your Final Four match and move on to the championship for the first time, I believe, ever. You guys, Coach, have been knocking on the door here for several years. I think you guys have made it to the Final Four like 7 times, and this time you were able to punch your ticket onto the championship. So congratulations on that. But Coach, let's just go back and talk about this season, where it all began. I know you got some good senior leadership, but you've really had to have players come through for you, all up and down your lineup. So let's talk about the season and how you guys got to where you are.
That sounds like a plan. Yes, sir. It is definitely an exciting time. We're seven tries, and we were able to punch that ticket for the boys. That's our 9th one as a program, both boys and girls. We're thrilled to be where we're at, but we're keeping focused and ready to take on this next challenge for us.
Yeah. Well, Coach, you took over this job now, and help me out. I believe you've been doing this 3 years, or is it 2 years?
Yes, sir. This is my 3rd year.
Okay. All right. And you took over from Matt Thrift, and like I said, he had the program in great shape. But you guys have took that next step and got it into the finals there. But talk a little bit about that match that got you in that Final Four match that got you to the finals.
Oh man, it was quite a day. We started out the day just like we've done for all of our playoff matches. We had kind of an early lunch around 10 o'clock. We got ready, had a couple hours of warming up. We do a little warming up, a little bit of rest. And when GAC got there at about 12 o'clock, both teams took the court. We went ahead and had a little warm up, had a little ceremony beforehand getting ready. And then the match started, and the nerves, the atmosphere, everything you wanted. I mean, it was perfect. I took a couple of pictures panoramic just of the area, and I would say, and I've been around the program since 2006 whenever I was playing as a junior. It was probably some of the most electrifying, tennis atmosphere you could think of. I told our principal I wanted it to feel like the US Open, and man, it was close for high school for sure.
Exactly. And talking about what does it take to win a match? Is it 3 victories, 5 victories? What does it take to win a match to move on?
So to win a match, you need 3 out of the 5 that are on the court. In high school tennis, we do in Georgia, we have 3 singles matches happening, and then we have 2 doubles matches happening. And as soon as in the playoffs and in the region championships, as soon as 3 matches are complete, you've secured the match, and everybody comes off and the celebration begins. So definitely that when that 3rd match was clinched for us, it was a huge moment.
Right. And I think we showed a picture earlier of everybody hoisting Josh on their shoulders there. He's your number 1 single, but Josh was actually named as our 912 Sports Player of the Year for small schools tennis. I think he's only lost 2 matches all year long, but just talk about Josh a little bit and what he's meant to your program there his senior season.
I'm going to tell you, it didn't start just with that match at GAC. It has been Josh's whole career. We're talking about an individual that has put in countless hours, time on the road, going to play matches and tournaments during the off season, pulling kids from our team, on weekends, on after practice, If you talk about a program kid, him and his brother are definitely program kids for us at Brantley. They've done all that they can to get everybody involved and to keep the kids busy with tennis even in the off season, because the matches like that weren't won just from a practice the week before or even the season. That match right there was won a long time ago. So
right. Well, and Coach, when you think about it, tennis is, and not to give it the wrong connotation here, but it's a country club type sport. I mean, it's something that's played, and you think, when you see a GAC or you see an Oconee County or the team that you guys are playing, in the championship, you understand why they're there. How does little Brantley County in rural Southeast Georgia have such a strong tennis program? Where does it come from that these kids just really are just great tennis players?
I'll tell you where it starts is tennis camps. Our former Matt Thrift, he started doing these tennis camps probably, I would say, around 2009, 2010. And we try to strike interest in tennis at the kindergarten age.
Mm-hmm.
Actually I'm in the planning stages right now for putting our camps together at the end of this month. And that's kind of, honestly, that's where the passion starts. And, honestly, we can't just, kids don't just come to tennis tryouts, in high school or in middle school. We've got to be out recruiting and looking in the halls, looking for these kids at an early age, saying, hey, you ought to try tennis out. It's a fun sport. Look at the success we've had. The success obviously helps, when you're able to bring in kids, but it definitely starts early. These camps help us out a bunch to be able to find these kids.
Right. And I've always said, and this is Sean's opinion, and we all know what opinions are worth, but, you can't teach an 11th grader to be a baseball player. You got to teach an 11-year-old. Do you feel like that's kind of the same way it is with tennis?
I would say it is, but I've got an assistant coach here that picked it up in the 9th grade and then followed through with 3 Final Four appearances.
Wow.
Back in his day. So it's, you find some kids every now and then. A couple years ago, I think the 2016 Final Four, we had a kid that hadn't played since middle school, maybe 1 year in middle school, and he come back his senior year and was able to fill a spot for us and help propel us into the Final Four. But as far as somebody, just picking that racket up, it can be tough for sure. But, sometimes it depends on the drive of that person. So
exactly. Well, Coach, got the big state championships coming up Friday. I believe it's in Rome. Is that correct?
That's correct, at the Rome Tennis Center.
Okay, and that's a neutral site, so nobody's got a home field advantage there. But just talk a little bit about what your guys logistically are going to do to on Friday. Are you going up Friday? Are you going up Thursday? What's in store here for the Herons?
So for the Herons, we're going to kick off our, excitement for our teams that are playing in state finals. We've got some fishing guys that are going to be going and playing. We've got some track folks that have qualified. And starting tomorrow, we're going to kick off kind of a little celebration around the county. We're going to go see the little schools, the elementary schools, the middle school, kind of have a little send-off on Wednesday. Now, our teams actually are not going to take off till Friday morning.
Okay.
And plan is to head straight to Rome. We're going to get there, do some team building things, maybe even have a little short practice before we go to bed, and then wake up on championship day and be ready to live the dream.
Right. Well, Coach, congratulations, man, on getting there. We're excited. All of Southeast Georgia, all of 912 are behind you guys. You guys go up there. You come this far. You might as well go up there and win it at this point, Coach.
That's right. You're exactly right. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Right. Well, Coach, congratulations on a great season. All 912 will be pulling for you. And like I said, hopefully you guys will go get the win. And if you do, we'll have you back on and talk about that show. That we'll show everybody that pretty trophy that you get for winning it all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I sure do appreciate you.
All right, buddy. That's Coach Patrick Steve. He's the boys tennis coach at Brantley County High School as the Herons go up to play for our state championship this weekend and try to win the 3A state title. But we'll be right back here after these messages on air with 912 Sports.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Welcome, sports fans. We're here live with head coach for the Ware County golf team, both boys and girls, Coach Tony Wheeler. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Well, Coach, appreciate you doing this interview with us. We got a big announcement coming up. It's not really an announcement. We're going to talk about a special event that the Gators are going to be involved in, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Coach, you guys had a great girls season, a great boys season for your golf here at Ware County High School. Let's talk a little bit about the boys who finished second in both region and area, but just talk about the season overall for your boys team, Coach.
Our boys played well this year at times. We started off really strong and we kind of hit a lull, but then we got things back together near the end of the season. We actually qualified for the state championship. We were in McDonough at Georgia National Golf Club. We finished second behind Wayne County, so that put us into the state championship where we did not have to go and try to qualify at the sectional tournament. So we played really well at times. At times we didn't, but we have the state championship. We're in our home backyard, and that's a great thing for us.
Exactly. It's nice to be able to sleep in your own bed at night, as they say. But and we'll talk a little bit about that. But Coach, you got some senior leadership this year on your boys team from our Player of the Year, 912 Sports Player of the Year for Big Schools Golf, and that's Lee Smith. Lee's had several accomplishments since he's been here as a Gator. But talk a little bit about his senior season and where he's going to next.
Well, Lee this year, he was the area low medalist again. He's won that his junior and his senior year. He played well again. Lee has a lot of ability, a lot of talent. Lee just, at times, Lee's just like the rest of us when we play golf. We have our days that we don't play as well. But Lee really likes the spotlight, and I'm looking forward to watching him play at the state championship next week. He also is going to Coastal College of Georgia, going to play golf for their men's program.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment for him. And again, he was our Player of the Year for large school golf there for boys. And then talk a little bit about your girls season, Coach. You guys won region, one area, won several tournaments throughout the year, but girls had a fantastic season. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the girls, they played really well this year. They had a good season as I can ever remember. We won 4 tournaments total, which is really good. I think we only played in 9 tournaments, so we won a lot of those. Carlin Paulk was our senior leader with that, and I think she had 3 individual wins this year herself. She's played really well, and she's also going to go to Coastal College and play golf next year for the Lady Mariners.
Well, good deal. And Carla was our girls Player of the Year for 912 Sports there for large school for girls there. So congratulations to both Lee and Carla on those honors, and congratulations to you guys, Coach, for having such a great season. But it all is going to pay off in rewards, because Monday on the 16th and Tuesday the 17th, you guys are going to be hosting the 5A state tournament at Okefenokee Golf Course. So talk a little bit about what went into that. And I know it's been a while since Ware County has hosted that tournament, but talk a little bit about that tournament coming up on Monday.
Well, we're going to play the Class 5A state championship here at Okefenokee on Monday. I do want to say this, thanks to Okefenokee members and their golf club. They have been wonderful. Steve Thornton and Dwayne Arnold have helped tremendously, and for the members to let us use their course for 3 days, because the practice rounds are on Sunday, is just a wonderful thing they've done for us. This started way back in September. We were trying to get the state championship. We were supposed to host the sectionals, and nobody kind of wanted the state championship, so I called Georgia High School, and I kept aggravating them, and finally they gave me the state championship. Cartersville ended up hosting the sectionals, but I really deep down wanted to do something for our seniors, and I thought this was the best gift I could give them when nobody wanted it. And everybody's been on board. The community's been fantastic. We've had a lot of support from businesses. Everybody's just helped in general. So on Monday morning, the girls are going to play at about 8:30. And the boys will not tee off until around 12:30 in the afternoon. And then on Tuesday, we're going to swap it. The boys will be going early at 8:30, and the girls will be going in the afternoon about 12:30 also.
Right. And this is the first time, I believe, since '92, since there's been a boys state tournament here, and the first time since '05 since a girls tournament's been here.
That is correct. It has been that long. I think in '92 our boys actually finished runner-up and lost in a playoff, and I think the girls also were state runner-up in 2005 also. So I'm kind of hoping we're going to continue that trend, but I want the championship. I'd rather have that than the runner-up trophy.
Exactly. Let's go one place bit better there. But listen, all you golf fanatics, here's a great chance to see a lot of great golf played right here in our backyard at Okefenokee. Coach, I thought there would be like a ticket sales deal, but you told me earlier off camera it's free to anybody who wants to come out and watch some good golf there on Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, I would really like to invite the community out to watch. the Class 5A boys is maybe the strongest field we've ever seen. A lot of talented players from the Atlanta area, including St. Pius and Woodward Academy, Stars Mill. They're loaded with talent. Wayne County, who's just 40 miles up the road, they're really talented too. They have a kid named Finley Burke that is a tremendous player. Also, ourselves, if we play well, we can be right there in it too. It's just a good field. I'd like to invite everybody out and come watch and cheer on whoever you want, but I hope you cheer on the home team.
Exactly. And Coach, you guys, like you said, I mean, Lee's been the low medalist at several places. Carlin has as well. You got Trace Carter from Ware. You got the kid from Wayne. So, I mean, you was telling me there's one kid that got off the bus the other day during a practice round and shot a 64. So a lot of really, really good, talented kids are going to be playing golf there Monday and Tuesday. So come on out, community, support these kids. Come on out and cheer these Gators on. And Coach, hopefully we'll catch up with and get some footage from this tournament here on Monday and Tuesday, and have you back later on to talk about the results.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us, and go Gators.
Go Gators. All right, that's Coach Tony Wheeler, head coach of the Ware County Gators, both boys and girls golf team. We'll be right back here after these messages.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robinson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
Hello, everybody. Kevin Price for On Air with 912 Sports. As you may know, the Georgia High School Association state baseball tournaments now down to the semifinals in all 7 classifications here in the Peach State, and we have 3 teams from the 912 Sports coverage area still alive in the chase for the state championships in their respective classes. That would be Charlton County in Single A, Vidalia in Double A, and Pierce County in Triple A. The Pierce County Bears, actually the third and final team of that trio to punch their ticket to the Final Four. They did so on Wednesday night with a 7-6 victory in Blackshear over Franklin County in Game 3 of what turned out to be one heck of a series between those two teams. Knox Bennett had a home run for Pierce County in that ball game. Davis Green had a big day at the plate for the Bears as well. And Hope Skipper pitched 3 shutout innings and recorded the final out of the ball game on a strikeout to send the Bears into the Final Four once again. Now, actually worth noting, Pierce County faced elimination going into Game 2 of that series after losing the opening game 6-5. Game 2 was tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th, with Franklin County being the home team. They had runners on second and third with 1 out and tried to score the winning run, tried to push the winning run across the plate on a pass ball, but Pierce County made the play at the plate for the final out of that inning, got out of that jam, and proceeded to score 2 runs in the top of the 8th to win that second game 5-3 to stay alive in the series, force that third game, which of course they won. So now Pierce County into the Final Four with a 29-4 record. They'll be at home against Redan in a best-of-3 series that starts on Monday. Now, also on Wednesday in Class AA, Jeff Davis saw its season come to an end with a 3-0 loss to Thomasville. So there will be a new state champion in Class AA to replace the Yellow Jackets there atop that classification. Of course, the Yellow Jackets, a perennial power, another great season for Jeff Davis there in Hazelhurst. We'll know they'll be back in the hunt again starting next year. But again, a tough loss for Jeff Davis there in Game 3, but another great season for the Yellow Jackets comes to an end in the state quarterfinals. But as I noted, Vidalia already into the semifinals there in Class AA. They pulled off a doubleheader sweep earlier this week, winning 2-0 and 17-0 over Callaway. So the Indians from Vidalia into the Final Four, and will host Always Good Love It on Monday for that best-of-3 series there in Class AA, with a chance to move on to the state championship series. Now, earlier this week in Class 5A, Wayne County also lost a tough Game 3. They fell 9-8 at Appalachia. Appalachia scored the winning runs in the bottom of the 7th on a 2-run walk-off home run to win that game 9-8 and to bounce the Yellow Jackets from the playoffs there in the state quarterfinals. But again, another great season for Wayne County there in Jessup. And also earlier this week in Class 5A, Ware County saw a great season come to an end as they lost 2 games to Loganville there in Waycross. So Loganville moves on to the Class 5A semifinals as well. Now, as I mentioned, in Single A, it was Charlton County also pulling off the sweep earlier this week to move into the Single A Final Four. They swept Sly County 3-1 and 13-1. So the Indians in the Final Four will be on their home field in Folkestone against Social Circle on Monday to start out that best-of-3 series. So Charlton County in Folkestone with a chance to move on to the state championship series as well. Now, last week we had several teams from our coverage area get eliminated in round 2. In Class AA, it was Swainsboro and Toombs getting bounced. In Class AAA, it was Appling County being eliminated from the playoffs in the second round. In Class 5A, Coffee County eliminated. And then in Class 6A, all 4 teams from Region 2 6A, which we cover on a regular basis, Glen Academy, Richmond Hill, South Effingham, and Effingham, all eliminated there in round 2. But again, Charlton County, Vidalia, and Pierce County in classes Single A, AA, and AAA into the Final Four now, still representing the 912 Sports coverage area. We wish all 3 of those teams good luck as they look to advance to the state championship series in their respective classifications. Go get them, guys. All of us here in the 912 are certainly behind you. For On Air with 912 Sports, I'm Kevin Price.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.